Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Okay, I am fine, thank you. So we
Okay.
will start our today's class. So basically, first of all, I will start from the rest of the part, which will be not completed for the first day. We will start from here
Okay.
and then continue our class. Okay.
Okay.
So I start the recording.
Okay.
Okay. So now, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. So now I simply open my slide and try to discuss.
Okay.
So today, first of all, I will try to discuss about that how we can easily differentiate
Mm.
between the two things about the client and server. Okay, so basically, when you
Okay.
want to work with the Google Earth Engine platform, you have to know the clear idea about the client and server because client and server and Google Earth Engine is a totally cloud-based platform. Okay, so when you want to work with
Okay.
the Google Earth Engine platform, you need to use the Google Earth Engine server. Okay, in this
Okay.
time, I will try to discuss about that what is the client and what is the server, and how you can get the server, mainly Earth Engine server, how you can easily get the Earth Engine server and execute
Okay.
your code. Okay, so first of all,
Okay.
what is
Okay.
client? So mainly client is that action take place on the user's computer and it has the no relation with web server. Okay, so
Okay.
client side means that it action take place on the user's computer and it has the no relation with the server or cloud
Okay.
computing. There is a no relation. It's all of the action take place only for your computer. But when you want to work with the server object, so this server side means that action take place on a web server. Okay, so this is the
Okay.
idea about the client and server. So in this time, you use here the Google Earth Engine platform. So you must be use here the Google Earth Engine server because Google Earth Engine has its own server. Okay,
Okay.
so that's why in this
Yeah.
time we need to run our code from the Earth Engine server. So I give
Okay.
you some practical examples so that you can easily understand about the client and
Okay.
server. I simply go to my code editor of Earth Engine code editor.
Okay.
So I simply open my code editor. Just a minute.
Okay.
So I simply open a new code editor. I guess okay. So client side, it action take place on the user's computer, and it has the no relation with the Earth Engine server. So in this time, suppose I want to write the code some client side, and then I also just convert this code and execute the code from the server side. So for this, I simply write the some code. Suppose okay. So previous class we also try to discuss about the variable and list, dictionary, object. Okay. So I use the same thing in
Yes.
this time. Suppose client, I want to write the code only for client side. Suppose I take a variable and give the variable name is the small a, and I store here a value is the suppose 100, and take the another variable and give the variable name is the b, and I store the 20, and take the another variable suppose c, and then I simply a plus b. I just addition between the a and b and store in the c, and then simply print this. So I simply use there the print function and then call my c because I want to show the result of the a plus b. So I simply click to the run. You can see I can get the result in here 120. But this code, you can see this code is only work for the client side. It has the no relation with Earth Engine server. It has the no relation with Earth Engine server. In this time, I want to execute the same code from the Earth Engine server. Suppose you can see this is the code. This code is the client because I did not use here the any Earth Engine server object function. So when you want to execute your code from the Earth Engine server, you must be use here the Earth Engine server function. So in this time, I want to just convert this and write the server of run the code from the server. So I simply take the another comment, suppose server, and you can see I use the same way. This is the same code. This code is execute from the client. I use the same code, but in this time I want to execute my code from the Earth Engine server. When you want to use the Earth Engine server, you need to add the some new function. It's called the Earth Engine server function. So I simply take a variable. Suppose I simply take the capital A. This is my variable name. And then in this time you can see I want to need construct a new define the value. So I want to construct or define or create the value. So 100. You can say I use the 100 in here. So in this time I want to store the value in the Earth Engine server. Okay, so that's why I need to use, I simply go to the docs tab, and this is the documentation. In this docs tab, you get all of the Earth Engine server function which you want to read. You can get all of the things. So in this time, I want to work with the number. You can see I want to work with the number because I want to store a number in a variable. So I simply click on the number. Here you can see this is the e.number. I simply click to here. Here you can see mainly this is the function, Earth Engine server function. What is the task of this function? You can see constructs a new number. When you want to create a new number, when you want to define a new number, then you need to use here the e.number function, this function. So in this time, I simply copy this function. Actually, this is the Earth Engine server function, and I want to execute my code from the Earth Engine server. So that's why I simply copy this and then simply paste here. In this time, I simply define my value. My value is that suppose 100. Okay. I use the same way for the another variable. Suppose capital B and store here the 20. I simply use here the e dot. So this is the Earth Engine server function for storing the number.
Okay.
Then I take the another value. Suppose capital C and then use here the A plus B. And I simply print this. I simply print this capital C and then click the run. You can see I did not get the result because this plus sign is only work for the client side. This plus sign is only work for the client side, but server has already another function instead of this plus sign. So what is the function? I want to find it. You can say add function because in this time I want to addition. Okay, so I simply click to add. You can see what is the task of this function. You can see adds the first value to the second. So mainly when you want to addition first value to the second value, then we can use the add function. So I simply copy the add function and then I simply paste here. Okay, just I paste, and you can see what is my second. My second number is that B.
A plus B.
I simply use at the B. But in this time, I want to add this A and B. So I simply use at the dot notation. So now you can see this is the function add. So add is the function. It's mainly used for first value to the second value for the addition. So I simply use at the A, then dot add B. In this time, you can see when I run this code, you can see our console tab, it computing. So number computing, it's showing the number computing. In this time, this code is executed from the Earth Engine server. So that's why we can get the result. You can see number computing. But when you can see client side, it will be only for showing the 120 because it will this code is not executed from the any server. But this code it executed from the Earth Engine server. When I click to, you can see we can get the result
Yes,
about the number computing. And the same way, suppose I want to create the list. Suppose I create the list in the client side. Suppose I simply and put the variable name is the suppose client list. You can use any name, no problem. I simply use the client list. And I want to make a list. So when you want to make the list, you must be using at the square bracket. I simply put the square bracket, and then I simply put here the suppose country name, Bangladesh. Then suppose another country is the India, and then also use the head the suppose Pakistan. Suppose use here the Ghana. Use here the suppose Australia. Okay, use here the suppose UK. So I can say I simply use here the country, and I want to print this. So I simply use here the print function. I simply use here the print function, and then call my variable client list.
yes.
Simply paste here. When I click to the run, you can see I can get the result in here. But this result is not executed from the Earth Engine server.
Yeah.
Okay, this code is
Yes,
not executed from the Earth Engine server because I did not use any server function. I did not use any server function. In this time, this is the same code, but this same code I want to execute it from the Earth Engine server. But this same code I want to execute it from the Earth Engine server. So it's very easy. So first of all, I take a variable. Suppose I keep the variable name is that server
And
server list. You can use any name, no problem. I simply use the server list. Okay. Then as a beginner, you don't know what is the function. You can simply search here. I can simply search here the list because I want to create the list. You can see I simply find out the list function. Is list ee.list.
List.
I simply click
Yes.
to here. You can see what is the task of this function. Mainly it constructs a new list.
Construct a new list.
So when you want to make any list in the server, then we need to use the function. I simply copy the function. I simply copy and then paste here. Okay. And then
Okay.
I just simply copy my list from here. Suppose I simply copy the same list I copy and then I simply paste here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I just simply print this. So you can say simply use here the print function and then simply call my variable name. My variable name is the server list.
Server list.
And then paste here and then click to the run. So now you can see it will be list computing. You can say I can get the list computing. It means that this code is now executed from the Earth Engine server.
Yes.
I can get the result from the Earth Engine server. So you can see this is my code. I write the code. This code send a message to the Earth Engine server. In a matter of second, I can get my output in here. Okay. You can see I can get.
Okay.
And the same way for the dictionary. So when you want to make the dictionary, suppose I want to take a variable and give the variable name is the dictionary. Suppose dictionary, I can put the dictionary client. You can use any name, no problem. Then I simply make a dictionary. When you want to use the dictionary, you must be using the curly bracket. I simply put the suppose dictionary is the country, and this country is the suppose I put the country name is that suppose Bangladesh. Suppose I put the another element is the suppose capital. Suppose capital is the Dhaka. I use here the suppose currency. I put the currency is the Bangladeshi Dhaka. Okay. So in this time you can see this is my list. This is my dictionary. I want to just print this. So I simply print and then I simply call the variable name and
Dictionary.
paste here. You can say I can get the result in here. Okay, I can get the total 3 of properties. So 3 properties means that it has the 3 keyword and 3 key value. You can say I can get this result. Okay, in this time this code is the same way. This code is executed from my client side. It has the no relation with Earth Engine server. But in this time the same code I want to execute it from the Earth Engine server. So very easy. So I simply just take the variable. Suppose you can put any variable name. I simply put the variable name is the suppose server dictionary. And as a beginner, you can simply search here the dictionary in the docs tab. So DocStep is your friend. Here you can get all of the documentation, all of the Earth Engine server function. You don't need to memorize anything.
Yeah.
So I simply use the dictionary. I simply search. So I find out, you can see dictionary. So mainly you can see what is the task of this function. Constructs a new dictionary. So when you want to define any dictionary in the server, then you can need to use the function. I simply copy. I just copy from here, and then I simply paste here. Okay, and then I simply call my dictionary. So I simply copy this dictionary from here. I just simply copy, and then I simply paste here. Okay, and then I simply just print this dictionary. I simply print, and then I simply call the server dictionary. I simply paste here this variable name and click to the run. So you can see I can get the result. When I click to that, you can see it will be showing the dictionary computing. Okay, so you can see number computing, list computing, and dictionary computing. So in the meantime, it means that in this time, this code is executed from the Earth Engine server. Okay,
Yes.
so this is the way when you want to execute the code in Google Earth Engine platform, the server. So all time we are using the documentation tab. So documentation tab, we can easily find out all of the server object function. We will we will use the server object function and do our remote sensing analysis. Okay, so any remote sensing analysis, we can simply use all of the function, and all of the function you can see already available in a documentation tab. All of the function will be start from the EE. It means the Earth Engine. So all of the function we are using from here, and then we can use all of the remote sensing analysis using the Google Earth Engine platform. Okay, but we are using the same concept for the variable, for the list, for the dictionary, for the function. All of the things will be same, but in this time I want to execute my code from the Earth Engine server. So that's why some new function or new variable or new keyword will be coming in my code. So that's why this code will execute it from the Earth Engine server. So this is the basic difference from the client and server. So next time when you want to use the code, we are using the server object function and run our code, and we can get the result. Okay, so I hope you can understand about the client and server. So any question you can ask me. Any question?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want to know among the two, which one is the best option? For example, if I want to.
Yeah. So in this time, you can see client and server. So all time we are using the server object function, this server, okay? Because Google Earth Engine is a totally server-based platform or cloud computing platform. So that's why all time we are using the server function, okay? And we are using the basic things or programming language from using the same way for the when you want to define the variable, when you want to make the list, when you want to make the dictionary, all of the things will be same, but I want to execute my code from the server, Earth Engine server. And Earth Engine server, when you want to execute the code from the Earth Engine server, you must be use here the some Earth Engine server object function. So that's why you can see EE list, this is the server object function, EE dictionary, this is the server object function, EE.number, this is server object function, add, this is the server object function. Okay, so we are all time using the server object function. So that's why I want we will execute our code from the Earth Engine server and get the result. So mainly Google Earth Engine platform, all time we are using the server object function and get our result for the different types of remote sensing analysis result we are getting from the server. But main concept is the same for the variable, dictionary, list, function, all of the things will be same. But we are using the some server object function of Google Earth Engine platform. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So in this time, I simply go to my next slide.
Okay.